Speaking of Spicer, Minnesota, we have Rekieta Law, who has been posting in Patrick Melton's chat. If you don't know, Patrick Melton is a pedophile who is now associated with Juju the Cow, as is a lot of pedophiles for whatever reason. He's been sending money to Patrick Melton to get his word out. This is what he's had to say. Wait until everybody hears what makes him insta-nut. I bet that's funny. Maybe life and relationships are really complicated. People want to control mine. It's weird. Also, he really liked hearing about my kielbasa. He lives in the present, and his brain... talking about Aaron Emholt, the former husband of his girlfriend, April. He lives in the present. His brain rewrites the past to suit his present. I legit don't know if he is conscious of it. Aaron threatened me with a baseball bat. He's told this story live. He's nervous because he wants to talk about Kayla. Amazing that he says that he won't tell another person's story. I think I've talked about this before, but Rekieta and Aaron have confirmed that they've seen each other's cocks, and I think that Aaron has eaten his cum. Oh, here we go. He paid her into a joint account. And remember how he accused her of stealing his money. Embrace being a cum-eating cuck, another fun one for the toe. He took the cum right off her chest. Ew, that is fucking nasty. Old people are gross, man. It's fucking... Hey, Melton, according to Kiwi Farms, we are the best friends and hang out all the time, apparently. I am so glad to be your best friend, and thanks for all the files and hard drives. Hi, Nick. Thanks for the files. This is from Vito the Pedo. Great. Cool. 2 pedophiles. Awesome. 2 for 1, chat. Now, Rekieta says, Dear Diary, another week has gone by, and I continue to marvel at the way the lowercase I internet processes information. I'm also haunted by specters. Not ghosts, but figurative projections people place. It tipped off of me when someone claimed that me letting April live rent-free in a house was abusive because I didn't supply the house with lowercase I internet. Well, which one? The specter of addiction allows people to self-justify any thoughts or words towards the alleged addict. There are several other specters at play currently, but right now addiction is the hammer in search of nails. Once you are labeled something sufficiently, the reality of your circumstances are irrelevant. The label is all that matters. It's why Trump was so effective at eliminating his competition. He branded them simply and effectively. The brands of addict or alcoholic are used to strip the humanity from the branded and used fallaciously as trump card in any discussion. The addict is never allowed to deny the branding. Denial is a sign of addiction, after all. It's true, it is. The brands justify condescension and any removal of autonomy necessary to prevail over the addict in any disagreement. The brands also justify any imagination someone has about the addict. They must act in this way because they are an addict. It is a matriarchal specter that births and nurtures further specters. That is a fucking cringe line. I'm sure he has that tattooed in Chinese on his fucking ass cheek or something. He's just whining like, oh no, my addict fucking behavior is getting me labeled an addict. This is so cruel and unusual. I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, yeah, bro, you act like a fucking addict and everybody sees it, but you're in denial. You don't see it, so it must be like, oh my god, it's everybody else who's wrong. This year has been an object lesson in bad timing. That said, the assumptions about me, my family, my vices, my physical and mental health, and etc. are often distorted, exaggerated, or downright fabricated. It is going to take me a lot of time to try and correct the ones that matter, but I will try. To those waiting for accountability or apology, etc., I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait a bit. The closure of my criminal case is necessary to speak candidly, and I believe candor is necessary to build trust. I have made some poor choices, and I've had some unfortunate variables in my equations. These things combined to bring my life to the brink over the course of this year, but the circumstances and story that brought them about may help people with perspective. I am well aware of my mistakes and failings, but people confuse being muzzled with not being accountable. These are not the same, though they may create similar impressions. I am accountable to many people for my actions. I am not accountable to a ravenous mob on the lowercase I internet. Nonetheless, please do not confuse delay with denial. Some people just have to wait to be done properly. Very cool, Rekieta. He's haunted by specter. Specter's pockmarked face haunting, torturing him, poking him with hot steaks, going hee hee hee, jabs in at him. Take that, Rekieta. Another specter haunting him is the state of Minnesota, who has denied, capital, all capital, bold text, denied his petition for discretionary review. Now, as a recap, when Rekieta filed his response to the omnibus during the omnibusin, he went for a Frank's hearing, which is like a shot in the dark. He's basically saying that the cops lied to get a search warrant, and therefore all things in the search warrant are fruit of the poison tree and should be thrown out, which is basically the same as winning your case. It was a long shot, and it didn't work. And moreover, because he only asked for a Frank's hearing, he did not get to make many other pretrial motions that would be intelligent for him to make at that time. The judge explicitly, in his response to the Frank hearing discussion, said that no other pretrial motions were allowed, which left him in a very disadvantageous position proceeding in his criminal case. So, what he did is filed for a petition for discretionary review. And this is a very, 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 very unusual move. In a civil case, it makes sense pretty often to file for an appeal if you're unhappy with the decision of the court. It does not make sense in a criminal case because generally the courts want you to go through the process, be found innocent or guilty, and then petition for review after you are found guilty and you have been sentenced. Because there's lots of stuff after that that you might want to file in one go that then gets reviewed. And that's how they prefer it be done. Because if you file all these pretrial appeals and then you get found innocent anyways, well, you just wasted everybody's time. So the petition for discretionary review, as it was explained to me by a Minnesota attorney, is that you file it when you have a very good chance of winning, and also it makes sense to do it before you're sentenced or found guilty because the process would be punishment in and of itself. And the number one reason to file for one of these petitions is for double jeopardy. If you are found innocent or guilty of a crime in the United States, you can never, ever, 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 ever be tried criminally for anything related to that incident again. It is constitutionally prohibited. It is a part of the Bill of Rights. You can never be tried for the same issue twice. Even if it is a similar issue. Like if you did a crime, but you did two crimes, and you are sentenced in regards to the first crime, but they forgot to charge you for the second crime, they can't go back and say, wait a second, he also did this, so we're going to try him for that too. That's also double jeopardy. You have to bring everything related to that incident to the court when it happens. Otherwise, you're just fucking with this guy beyond what's reasonable. It's cruel and unusual punishment. So, if you went through the process once, you're out, and then they're trying to fuck with you again, you then file for a petition for discretionary review. So they should want to give him what he's asking for. But rather, it was a particularly bad petition for discretionary review because he just wasn't exceptional. There was nothing exceptional about his case that would warrant allowing him this exceptional review.